You ready for a magic trick? We're gonna do a magic trick where I go from this to this. Hey guys, I'm back after a few years of not doing this, so let's just hop into it. This was requested by my dear friend Caitlin, and she wanted to know how I did cream contour under foundation. It's basically the Scott Barnes trick, but apparently she does not watch a lot of beauty videos, so we're doing this for her so that she gets alert on how to do it. It's pretty simple, actually. It's very simple, and this is going to be super cheap. Way cheaper than what he does, so let's just hop on into it. Okay, the first thing you're gonna do, cream contour. This is the Wet n Wild, oh god, what did I call it? It already rubbed off. Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick Contour, and this is in the shade Call Me Maple. It looks really red in the camera. That's not good. It's not. So what you're gonna do is look into your mirror. Where you would contour normally, we're gonna put it there. So, right there, right there. Look in the mirror, make sure you're even Stevens. I like to do on the temple. If you have a shaved head like mine, don't get it in your hair, because that looks weird. Sides, top. Okay, here's where the magic happens. Just a little bit on the jaw. Around the lips. So you want to know how to get big pillowy lips without paying $550? This is the trick right here. All around. It looks insane right now. There, underneath, so you cast a shadow under your bottom lip. And then sides of the nose. Don't worry if it looks sloppy as shit. We're gonna fix it. Now you're gonna take a makeup sponge or a Blendiful, which I have right here. That right here, if you're gonna use this, I would recommend that you have crazy oily skin, because this sucks any moisture out of any product that you use. So just be aware of that. It's a really good tool, but... So now we're gonna blend, and I'm gonna do my nose first because I look fucking crazy. And you're just going to cap it out. I like to push it up. Okay, so you see the difference? Bam, bam. That's essentially what it's going to look like. So there we go. There is the cream contour on. Now we're going to move on to concealer. Where did my little thingy go? I lose everything when I'm filming. Every single thing that I have to have, I lose it right in front of my face. Okay. So we're going to move on to concealer. I'm using the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I like this one, but I do prefer the Collab Beauty Concealer better. It's just empty. So this is the shade Medium Sand, and it's still pretty darn light, in my opinion, for medium sand. So we're going to highlight now underneath the foundation, which you're going to put this everywhere that you want a highlight. So... that. I don't put it directly under my eyes because I feel like I can blend it up into the under eye area without having too much product there because I'm old and wrinkly, and you just shouldn't. Just a couple dots on the nose. See that? Right there. Boom. And boom. So that is essentially what your concealer is going to look like. Now, you take the same sponge, other side, or the flat spot, and pounce that in, blend it into the contour on the edges. Careful on the nose, because that goes away pretty darn fast. You can make it too wide, so just kind of bounce it. And any harsh lines that are there between the contour and the highlight, you can pretty much buff away once you get the foundation on. So there's going to be some contrast here, but it'll all blend together once the foundation is on top. And then see, we're already starting to look like a different human. So now that you have a good contrast on the skin, that's pretty apparent actually, like even in real life it's pretty apparent. The camera makes everything look freaking like crazier, but it's pretty apparent in real life. First things first, I'm going to put on a primer, an eye primer, before I go crazy with the foundation. I'm just going to use the Urban Decay eye primer. And, oh, this is the anti-aging one, because you need help wherever you can get it. Be it God or skincare, your mom's jeans. Okay, now we're moving on to foundation. This is just, hands down, my favorite drugstore foundation. Well, I only buy drugstore foundation. What am I saying? This is the best one. I'm sorry. This is the best one that I've found. This is the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus foundation, and this is just the regular one. I'm assuming they would call it the matte one because they have a dewy one now. This is in Golden Beige, and it is like the one for me. I have two other ones here that I like but don't love. This is the Maybelline, what is this? Superstay foundation. Way too dry. Way too flippin' dry. And then this is the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. It breaks me out the next day after I use it. So it's a really good one, but it breaks me out. So we're gonna go with Wet n Wild, baby. Bless their hearts. Just take the little spoonula, put it on the back of your hand, and we're not gonna like dot this on the face like thick. We're gonna really pounce it into the sponge, like get a good amount on the sponge, and then we're just gonna go like this. We're gonna place it on the skin all around, and then we're gonna spread that product out all over what you just did, but very lightly. This is the thing about why this foundation works so well. It's a good, solid, medium coverage. So it's not going to obliterate all that work you just did, but it's going to even everything out. So basically you went from this to this. We're just very lightly buffing that into the skin, trying not to disrupt the work that we did underneath, but really evening it out. Whew, it's really hot in here. Okay, next thing immediately after you do that is you want to powder. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance because, again, old lady, and this is in the shade Classic Beige, and I'm going to use my Blendiful for this. So I'm gonna pounce it in there, kind of go on the back of my hand. And with the other hand, we're taking the sponge, we're gonna pat out any creases under the eye, and then immediately go in with the powder. So there you go. That's your first thing that you want to powder. And you want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth before you do that. Think of this as your top coat. So after that, you can take a fluffy brush and powder the rest of everything into place. Depending on your skin, you might need a little, you might need a lot. Skin type, anyhow. Take the Blendiful again. Make sure there isn't too much on it. Go over my eyelids. Just set the primer and that little bit of foundation that I swiped over. And we are powdered into place. Now, I know this seems excessive because you just did all that work underneath your foundation, but we're gonna contour. I'm gonna take a Real Techniques, what is this called? Rebel Edge medium brush. Looks like this. And the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette powder. I don't know which one this is. It's the like the middle one. Or maybe it's the dark or the lightest one. I don't know. It's good. I'm sorry. I just have it. I haven't bought anything since she turned out to be an anti-vaxxer. So, just very lightly. You don't need a ton now. Just over the spots where you put the cream. Just to redefine it a little bit. Again, I push it up a little bit. For the nose, I'm going to take this Eco Tools brush. Have no idea what it's called. Looks like that. It's like a doe foot brush. Go back into the contour and just sculpt that out. Just to define it. And this isn't really, you know, because of any sort of ethnic nose situation. It's more whenever you put a full face of foundation on, you kind of lose definition. Everybody does, because it's almost like one flat color. I mean, the contouring under the foundation helps, but you still need to define things afterwards. So that's what we're doing here. Listen, nothing's gonna make this go away, okay? Unless you want to look very, very drag. So I'm going to take the Blendiful again with whatever is left on it and just blend, soften all of that up. I told you this was going to be cheap. I am using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte & Poreless powder. This is just a powder, but it is in the shade Toffee Caramel, which is like a perfect bronzer shade for me. So if you're a little deeper, you can go a little deeper. And there's a ton of bronzers out on the market now at the drugstore that are pretty awesome. So we're just gonna push that into the skin right above the contour. I go all the way in just cause. And we're gonna perimeters of the forehead all the way down the side and then on the chin or under the chin. Please forgive me if you can hear the air conditioner, but just know I'm not benefiting from it right now. Alrighty. Last thing for the face. This is going to be the one high dollar thing that I'm going to use because I've just been really, really back into it hard lately. I'm going to be using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid in Opal. This is so good. There isn't a better liquid highlighter on the market than this when it comes to applying something after you have powdered and after all your makeup is on. This is the only one that doesn't strip everything off as soon as you go to tap it in. So I'm using this. I also have, where is it? This nonsense from Wet n Wild, the Mega Glow Hello Halo. This is garbage. This will take everything that you just worked hard to achieve off of your face. So we're going to be using Becca, and I use a good amount of it since I am powdered to filth right now. Just like that. Do you see that? Oh, it's so good. Really didn't need to do that. My upper lip is already sweaty. So there is our highlight, and it is, it's so good. You could go insane and go ahead and apply something else on top if you want to. I have this mini Fenty Beauty, what is this one called? How Many Carats Diamond Balm. If you really want to go nuts, you can apply this because it is just glitter. It is just white glitter. It's pretty, but it's a lot in real life. So we have all of that on, and for the eyes you can essentially do whatever the hell you want. And before I even think about doing an eye look, after doing all of this, where is it? Why do you guys make me lose my stuff? I'm going to spray. I'm going to do a setting spray. This is the Skindinavia makeup finishing spray. This is the bridal one. Works pretty darn good. So I'm just going to go ahead and set all of this with the spray. And that'll be the look. You can do whatever you want with the eyes, but this is essentially a full face, you know, doing contouring underneath, highlighting underneath, foundation on top, and a little bit extra. So this is it. This is the full beat. You can also bake if you want to. I didn't feel like baking today. Underneath the eyes and other places to really lighten them up. But this is essentially like the kind of quickest way to get that look. And the cheapest way, except for the Becca. I'm really sorry about that. So we're going to spray. I use a lot. The other thing is, this does sort of help whenever you have to wear a mask, because we all have to wear masks now, forever. So, there you go, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, Kaylin. I hope that you learned something from this. I hope that you kind of understood the mechanics of how to do this. And, yeah, I'll see you guys next month with something else, since I'm doing this monthly now. Probably skincare next month. Don't worry, it's super simple and pretty cheap. So, well, thank you so much for joining me, and I think I just said I'll see you next month, so I will. Oh, I've backed myself into a corner. No, I want to. Anyhow, I never know how to end these damn things. You know, don't cough on anyone and wear your mask. I'll see you next month. Bye.